Have you ever looked at a question scenario and thought, I have no idea what's going on? Because if that's you, you're in the right place. Hi everyone, my name is Lauren and I'm a family nurse practitioner and one of the SMNP instructors. And here at SMNP Reviews, one of our favorite ways to learn is through application. Because even when you feel unsure, you usually know way more than you think you do. So in this video, we're going to walk through a GI case study together, step by step, and I'm going to pause along the way so you can think through it just like you would on your exam. So don't just sit back, actually try to answer the questions to yourself as we go. And if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos to support you on your NP journey. All right, let's jump into it. Here we have a 42-year-old patient presenting with abdominal pain that started about 2 days ago. They tell us the pain is worse after eating, especially fatty meals. And they're also having some nausea, but no vomiting. Vital signs show a temperature of 100.6 and a heart rate of 96 beats per minute. All right, let's pause here. Before we go any further, I want you thinking, what should we assess on the physical exam? It's the abdomen, exactly. So we palpate and we find that the right upper quadrant is tender. All right, now pause again. Based on everything we have so far, what is your top diagnosis? Go ahead, think about it, and remember some of those clues. Pause the video if you need more time to think. If you said cholecystitis, you're on the right track. Now let's walk through the why, because this is where boards love to test you. Let's pull out those key clues from this case. So we know we have right upper quadrant pain. The patient reported worsening after those fatty meals, nausea, and fever. That combination should immediately make you think gallbladder. Now, here's a really important distinction to think about in your differentials. Could be biliary colic or cholecystitis. So let's differentiate the two. Biliary colic is caused by gallstones temporarily blocking the duct. The pain comes and goes, and there is no inflammation. Cholecystitis is inflammation of the gallbladder, usually due to persistent obstruction. So what pushes us toward cholecystitis in this case? If you said the fever, you've got it. And the duration. This has been going on for 2 days. That tells us this is not just intermittent pain anymore. Now let's make sure we understand the why. Why does this pain get worse after fatty meals? Well, when we eat something fatty, the body releases a hormone called cholecystokinin, commonly referred to as CCK. And CCK tells the gallbladder to contract. Now, if there is a gallstone blocking the duct, that contraction increases pressure, and that's what causes the pain. So anytime you see worse after fatty meals, I want your brain going straight to the gallbladder. Now, what is a specific physical exam sign we can look for here? Yeah, the Murphy sign. This is when you palpate the right upper quadrant and ask the patient to take a deep breath. And then they're going to abruptly stop inhaling or have to catch their breath due to that pain. That's what we refer to as a positive Murphy sign, and it strongly supports cholecystitis. Boards love to test about physical examination signs, and there are so many you should know for your boards. In our live study group, we have an entire confidence check session dedicated to these. All right, now let's move into diagnostics. This is where students tend to overthink, so let's keep it simple. What is the first test we should order? it's an ultrasound of the abdomen. Always. It's fast, it's cost effective, and very good at identifying gallstones and inflammation. And remember, boards want you thinking like a cost-effective nurse practitioner. So what do we expect to see on ultrasound? Gallstones, gallbladder wall thickening, and pericholecystic fluid. If you see those findings, you've confirmed the diagnosis. Now, let's say the ultrasound is inconclusive, but you still strongly suspect cholecystitis. What are we going to do next? Yes, HIDA scan. A HIDA scan evaluates gallbladder function. Now we have the patient's ultrasound results that confirm your suspected diagnosis of cholecystitis. What do we do now? Well, in primary care, we will need to refer because the definitive treatment is surgery. The patient needs to go to the hospital and receive supportive care with things like IV fluids, pain control, and antibiotics. There, the surgeon will decide if surgery is necessary. Great job, everyone, working through this case with me. Here are my references for this content. If you're interested in learning more exam strategies like this, plus in-depth clinical content, definitely check out one of our review courses and our Q-Bank. They are designed to help you recognize exactly what the boards are looking for. And if you want to study alongside an incredible free community of students just like you, make sure to join our Facebook group linked below. You can also follow us on Instagram at SMNP Reviews Official for deep practice questions and tip drops just like today's video. You've got this.